Familiar voice? It should be, because this is Billy Rosenberg. But most of you would recognize him as the voice of Jacob Tutu.
I am not little. I'm this much bigger than I was last year.
However, today he is also doing the voice of Max, the brother bunny from Tree Houses, Max and Ruby.
Practice makes perfect, Max. You go play with your toys while I practice.
Fire truck!
Billy's day starts out just like any other 16-year-old's day. But from the time he was a baby, the rest of his life was a lot different.
He was in a Gerber commercial when he was 2 years old. He was chosen among more than 100 children in Mexico City, and he got the part for the Gerber commercial, but that was the extent of his career there. We all think we have the most beautiful children in the world, and this sort of validates it, and it's just exciting to see them on screen.
Mi bebé es un campeón. Juega mejor que yo.
Ellos son la mejor generación, la generación Gerber. Bebés sanos, llenos de vida. Y es que Gerber es alimentación de primera. Al cocer en exceso las verduras en casa, estas pueden perder sus valores nutritivos.
Well, I had to get an agent first, and I just decided, when I was 3, I did a commercial in Mexico for a Gerber, you know, the baby food. And then I decided that I wanted to get back into acting or that kind of stuff. And then we got an agent after meeting with some, and it turns out that there was a whole industry for the voice work, which I hadn't been aware of.
That industry goes well beyond voice work. Sinking Ship Entertainment, a Toronto-based production company, works exclusively with kid actors like Billy, starting from a very young age. J.J. Johnson and Blair Powers are the producers and have created the hit shows This is Daniel Cook and This is Emily Young.
We work with the kids, we inherit the parents, so it's 2 different relationships, but we primarily work with the kids, but obviously when you're working with kids you have a big involvement from parents and agents. We deal with kids anywhere between 3 and 8, I think, is the max.
How to draw.
Hi, Daniel.
While Billy hopes there's continued work for him as he moves from child to adult, for the most part, he still gets cast in children's roles.
I guess if it comes to a point that I'm able to succeed a lot and, you know, get better at this, then I guess it could become a career path.
It's time for Billy to head to the recording studio. His big brother Ben drives over to the school to pick him up.
The fact that, again, because genetically in the family, we're kind of delayed somewhat in growth, so that's helped him. His voice has changed, though. Like, if you listen to the first season, if you watch the first season of Jacob Tutu and compare it to one of the recent ones, he sounds a lot different.
Billy's family was not always excited about his acting career, but Billy persisted and succeeded.
Well, I'm very proud of him, and mostly because he got the job by himself. I was not thrilled to schlep him to auditions and to recordings, but he made all the calls. So I didn't do anything. He made the calls, got the appointments, got the interviews, and then got the jobs.
They don't know. No. They're just naturally themselves, and they just happen to be great little humans. But I think that's with all the kids. Like, as long as you can give them the right environment to shine, people naturally respond to them just because they're authentic. Mm-hmm.
Billy is taken out of class once every 2 weeks to record Max and Ruby. But when he's also recording Jacob Tutu, it's twice a week, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah, we told him that if his grades went down, then he would not be able to do this anymore. But so far, he's been very good with school and juggling everything.
My first audition was before the summer of 2001. Well, I had the first audition, so I went in, and when I got there, so I was told to use my regular voice, and then I left. After the audition, I didn't particularly have any strong feelings that I got it or bad feelings. It was neutral. And then my mom got the call that I got the part, so that was really exciting.
Especially at the beginning, it was hard. When we used to see the show and heard his voice, it was hard to put it together with a cartoon character. We just heard Billy on TV.
I'd never share with Martha or Emma. If there's one thing I've learned in this family, it's that girls are weird.
Strange. And then when he was in the car, in the seat behind me, and I would hear his voice, then I would think it was the cartoon character talking to me from the back, like Jacob Tutu was sitting in the back. So it's funny. It's fun.
I know Mr. Greedy Guts is behind this.
It may look easy, but Billy's being graded at school and at work.
This is episode 38A with Max, covering lines 4 through 19. Take 1.
Candy! Candy!
It's a matter of if there's a character. So if he's always going to be playing smaller, younger parts, then he needs a younger sounding voice. As he develops and matures, he will get older parts.
If you're considering acting and are camera shy, doesn't mean you'll necessarily be microphone shy. And Billy says it's acting nonetheless.
I like to call myself an actor. I don't particularly like it when people say, "Oh, they don't recognize it as acting," when really it is. It's not just like, talking into a microphone. You actually have to act.
And you're pointing it out to Ruby on 10, trying to reach it on 16, and answering a question on 19. So I'd like to do those 3 pages, please.
Youthful voice is great, but at 13, 14, it starts to deepen. They no longer can really play those parts.
Billy has been very lucky. He's been doing very shows that have become very popular, like Max and Ruby and Jacob Tutu. Sometimes a child can work for 1 season and that's it. And Jacob Tutu has had 5 seasons. And Max and Ruby, this is the 2nd season, but it's been playing on Nickelodeon since I think 4 or 5 years ago. And he's been able to do the same characters throughout these 5 years, which is amazing because usually the boy's voice changes.
Billy's age has never got in his way. It just takes a little determination.
Well, you have plenty of time to think about it, and you can succeed anything that you want to. You can do anything you want, whatever you put your mind to.